The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. Henry Bergson. Sigma males don't just see you, they decode you. While most people judge based on looks or first impressions, a Sigma male is quietly peeling back the layers of who you really are. Within seconds, he's analyzing your energy, your patterns, and the things you think no one notices. And here's the brutal truth, you can't fake it with him. Studies show that people make subconscious judgments within 7 seconds of meeting someone. But for a Sigma male, it's faster. He doesn't just notice what you say, he catches why you said it, how you said it, and what you didn't say. If you're putting on an act, forcing confidence, or hiding an agenda, he clocks it instantly. And once he sees through you, there's no second chance. So what exactly does he pick up on that others miss? Get ready, because these aren't your usual "he notices your smile" type of points. We're diving deep into the 10 things a Sigma male instantly notices about you, and some of them might just make you rethink how you show up in the world. Number 1, the energy you bring into a room. Sigma males don't just see you walk into a room, they feel you. Before you even say a word, your energy has already told him everything he needs to know. It's not some mystical sixth sense, it's pure observation. Most people are too distracted or self-absorbed to pick up on the subtle shifts in a room, but a Sigma male, he's tuned in like a human lie detector. He notices the way people react when you arrive, whether you command attention naturally or desperately seek it. He picks up on the tension in your shoulders, the way you move, and whether you carry yourself with quiet confidence or with an air of forced importance. What really stands out to him is the unspoken language of presence. Some people walk in and own the space without trying, calm, self-assured, effortlessly magnetic. Others barge in, loud and attention-seeking, overcompensating for insecurity. And then there are those who shrink themselves, hoping no one notices them. A Sigma male sees all of it in an instant. If your energy is erratic, desperate, or artificial, he senses it immediately and his interest disappears before you even open your mouth. He also picks up on who truly controls the room. Not the loudest person, but the one with the most influence. If you're that person, he'll notice. If you're just another background character following the herd, he'll notice that too. The truth is, you don't have to say a word for a Sigma male to judge whether you're worth his attention. Your presence alone tells him everything. And if your energy feels fake, unstable, or overly performative, he won't waste his time trying to figure you out. He already has. Number 2, your intentions before you even speak. A Sigma male doesn't need small talk to figure you out. He's already reading you before you open your mouth. Every movement, every glance, every slight hesitation in your body language is feeding him information. If you approach him with a hidden agenda, whether it's manipulation, flattery, or an attempt to impress, he picks up on it instantly. He's not the type to call it out or make a scene. He simply disengages. No second chances, no explanations, just a quiet mental exit from the conversation. He notices when someone is being overly agreeable, laughing at things that aren't funny, or mirroring his words a little too perfectly. That's not genuine connection. That's strategy. And nothing makes him lose interest faster than someone trying to play him. He also recognizes when someone is digging for information, whether it's subtle prying or fishing for personal details. To him, it's a dead giveaway that you're not engaging for the sake of conversation, but for some ulterior motive. Even attempts at forced confidence don't go unnoticed. Some people put on an act, exaggerating their stories, flexing their achievements, or dropping names to gain his respect. But instead of being impressed, he just mentally categorizes them as insecure and moves on. True confidence to him is effortless. It doesn't need validation. The real test? How you act when you think no one is watching. He watches the small moments, the way your eyes scan the room, how you treat people when you're not getting anything in return, and whether your words align with your actions. If there's even the slightest mismatch between what you project and what's real, he clocks it immediately. And once he sees through you, there's no coming back from it. Number 3, how you treat those who can't benefit you. A Sigma male doesn't judge you by how you treat people who matter to you. He judges you by how you treat people who seemingly don't. He watches the way you interact with the waiter when they mess up your order, how you respond to the janitor who walks past, or whether you acknowledge the security guard at the door. If your kindness is selective, If it only appears when there's something to gain, he instantly files you under fake and unworthy of his time. Nothing disgusts him more than arrogance disguised as confidence. If he sees you belittling someone just because they hold a position society undervalues, you've lost him completely. To him, it screams insecurity. Only weak people need to step on others to feel important. He notices the subtle things too, like whether you make eye contact when speaking to someone in a service role or if you dismiss them as background noise. A lack of basic respect tells him everything he needs to know. What makes it even worse? If you switch personalities depending on who's around. If you're all smiles and charm with people you want to impress, but cold and dismissive to those who don't matter in your eyes, he clocks it immediately. He sees it as a sign of moral inconsistency, a person who tailors their behavior based on perceived social hierarchy instead of having a solid character. To a Sigma male, power, status, and wealth mean nothing if the person behind them lacks integrity. If you only show respect upward but never downward, he won't call you out. He'll just erase you from his mind and move on. Because to him, if your respect is conditional, so is your loyalty, and he has zero interest in people like that. And number 4, your ability to think for yourself. A Sigma male doesn't care how many books you've read, how many podcasts you've listened to, or how informed you think you are. If your thoughts are nothing more than recycled opinions from social media, he tunes out instantly. He's not impressed by people who can repeat information. He's drawn to those who can dissect it, challenge it, and form their own conclusions. If everything you say sounds like a highlight reel from trending topics, he mentally files you under background noise and moves on. He pays close attention to the way you engage in conversations. Do you actually think before you speak, or are you just throwing out prepackaged opinions to sound intelligent? Do you ask thought-provoking questions, or do you just regurgitate whatever the internet is currently obsessed with? If you're someone who blindly agrees with the loudest voice in the room just to fit in, he notices. And to him, that's a sign of mental laziness, choosing comfort over critical thinking. What really makes him lose interest is when people become defensive over ideas they didn't even think through themselves. If you get triggered the moment someone questions your beliefs, if you take criticism personally instead of seeing it as an opportunity to refine your thoughts, he instantly sees you as mentally weak. And weakness in any form doesn't appeal to him. Sigma males respect those who question everything, including themselves. If you can't hold your own in a deep conversation without relying on prepackaged opinions, he sees you as just another programmed mind, easily influenced, easily manipulated, and ultimately, not someone worth engaging with. Number 5, the micro-expressions you think no one sees. A Sigma male doesn't just listen to your words, he watches everything else you don't realize you're saying. While most people focus on the obvious, he's analyzing the micro-expressions that slip through in a fraction of a second. That slight tightening of your jaw, the flicker of irritation in your eyes, the forced smile that vanishes too quickly. He sees it all. You might think you're keeping your real thoughts under control, but to him, your face is a billboard flashing the truth. He notices when your words don't match your emotions. If you're pretending to be interested in a conversation, but your gaze keeps shifting. If you're nodding along, but your fingers are tapping impatiently. If you're laughing, but your eyes stay cold. He picks up on the disconnect. And once he spots it, he knows exactly what's going on. You're either lying, uncomfortable, or pretending to be someone you're not. Either way, it's a red flag. Even the smallest signs of irritation don't escape him. If you roll your eyes but quickly recover, if you fake enthusiasm when you're clearly disinterested, if you force politeness when you're secretly annoyed, he clocks it in real time. He doesn't need exaggerated reactions to understand how you feel. Your subconscious has already betrayed you. What makes it worse? If you're trying too hard to control your expressions. The more you attempt to hide your true emotions, the more unnatural you look. Sigma males have zero patience for inauthenticity, and if he senses you're faking your way through an interaction, he'll mentally check out before you even realize what happened. You can fake charm, fake confidence, and even fake interest, but you cannot fake authenticity around a Sigma male. Number 6, if you're a walking contradiction. A Sigma male doesn't just listen to what you say, he watches if your actions back it up. And if they don't, He won't call you out or argue with you. He'll just decide you're not someone worth taking seriously. He's not interested in flashy words or grand declarations. He's looking for alignment between who you claim to be and how you actually show up. If there's even a hint of contradiction, it's game over. He quickly picks up on the subtle inconsistencies most people ignore. Say you brag about being fiercely independent, but you constantly seek validation from others. That tells him you're more concerned with appearances than actual self-reliance. Or maybe you claim to value honesty, yet you crumble the moment someone offers constructive criticism. To him, that's a red flag for emotional fragility. And if you say you're all about positive vibes but gossip about people behind their backs, he instantly knows your words are just a facade. What really irritates him is when these contradictions aren't self-aware. It's one thing to admit you're working on yourself, but it's another to parade around like you've got it all figured out while your actions scream the opposite. He has no patience for people who posture as something they're not, because to him, it's a waste of time. Inconsistencies aren't just annoying to him, they're a sign of instability. If you can't stay true to your own values, how can he trust you to be true to anyone else? Sigma males value authenticity above all else. If you're a walking contradiction, constantly saying one thing while doing another, he won't bother peeling back the layers. He'll just decide that what you're presenting is all there is, and that's not enough. Number 7, whether you're trying to impress or just being real. A Sigma male has zero interest in performances. If you're trying to impress him, he'll know within seconds, and it won't work. He can sense when someone is exaggerating, over-explaining, or subtly flexing their achievements to gain his approval. To him, this isn't confidence, it's desperation in disguise. And nothing makes him mentally check out faster than someone who's putting on a show instead of just being. He picks up on the little things most people miss, the unnecessary details in your story that make it sound too perfect. The way you casually name drop or humble brag, hoping he'll be impressed. The slight shift in your tone when you realize he's hard to read, so you start overcompensating. It all registers instantly. Instead of making him see you as accomplished or interesting, it tells him you're insecure and seeking validation. And that's a red flag. He's not drawn to flashy confidence. He respects quiet certainty. He doesn't care about your job title, how many people admire you, or how much success you've had. He cares about who you are when no one's watching. If you can talk about your life without trying to make it sound extraordinary, if you're comfortable with silence instead of filling it with self-promotion, if you're okay with not being the most interesting person in the room, that's what earns his respect. What drains him is the energy of someone constantly trying to win him over. He's not a judge, he's not a recruiter, and he's definitely not someone who rewards fake confidence. If you're real, he'll notice. If you're performing, he'll notice that too. And once he senses you're more focused on appearing impressive than actually being yourself, he's already lost interest. Number 8, the way you handle uncertainty. A Sigma male thrives in uncertainty, so when he meets someone, one of the first things he notices is how they handle unpredictability. Life doesn't come with a script, and to him, real strength isn't about looking confident when everything is smooth. It's about how you react when things aren't. If the slightest inconvenience sends you into a spiral, if you overreact to minor setbacks, or if you need constant reassurance to function, he sees it as a glaring weakness. He pays close attention to how you respond when plans change, when someone challenges your opinion, or when things don't go your way. Do you adapt or do you break down? Do you get defensive or do you think on your feet? If your first instinct is panic, blame, or emotional outbursts, he knows you lack the resilience he respects, and once he sees that pattern, he won't bother sticking around to see it again. What really makes him lose interest is when people let their emotions control them. If you crumble under pressure, if a small mistake ruins your entire mood, or if you constantly seek others to fix your problems, he clocks it instantly. To him, it signals a lack of self-reliance. He doesn't expect perfection, but he values composure. He respects people who can face uncertainty without falling apart, who can handle the unknown with a level head, and who don't let fear dictate their actions. At the end of the day, Sigma males don't gravitate toward weak-minded people. If you're easily rattled by life's unpredictability, he sees you as someone who will always need external stability, and that's the kind of energy he refuses to invest in. Number 9, if you actually respect yourself. A Sigma male doesn't care how loud you are about your confidence. He cares if your actions prove it. He instantly notices whether you genuinely respect yourself or if it's just an illusion you maintain for others. To him, self-respect isn't about arrogance or performing confidence. It's about your boundaries, your standards, and how you handle situations that test them. If you allow people to treat you poorly, if you tolerate disrespect just to keep the peace, or if you bend over backward for validation, he sees it as a sign of internal weakness. And if you don't respect yourself, he won't respect you either. He watches how you react when someone crosses a line. Do you address it, or do you laugh it off because you don't want to seem difficult? Do you stand your ground, or do you let people take advantage of you because you're afraid of conflict? If you constantly over-explain yourself, apologize for things that aren't your fault, or allow others to drain your energy without giving anything in return, he knows exactly what's going on. You're running on borrowed confidence, not real self-worth. And to him, that's a deal breaker. Nothing repels him more than someone who needs external validation to feel worthy. If you fish for compliments, seek approval before making decisions, or adjust your personality to fit in, he immediately knows you're not in control of your own self-image. He doesn't admire people who crave attention. He respects those who don't need it. A Sigma male values people who respect themselves enough to walk away when something isn't serving them. If you can't say no, if you can't set boundaries, if you shrink yourself to keep others comfortable, he notices. And once he sees that weakness, he loses all interest. Number 10, if you're easily influenced. A Sigma male doesn't care about your opinions as much as he cares about the consistency of them. He's quick to spot if you're the type who tailors your beliefs to fit the crowd, if your views change depending on who you're talking to, if you suddenly agree with someone just to avoid conflict, or if you're constantly bending to other people's opinions because you're unsure of your own. He notices it immediately. To him, it signals a lack of conviction, and more importantly, a lack of a strong sense of self. If you're easily influenced, it's not about being open-minded. It's about not knowing where you stand. Sigma males value people who are grounded in their own beliefs, regardless of who's in the room. He doesn't respect people who pick and choose their stances to fit in or please others. In his world, if you don't have a foundation built on your own values, you're just drifting along with the tide. And for someone who values authenticity and depth, that's an immediate turn-off. He also knows that people who are easily influenced often lack self-awareness. If you can't stand firm on your own opinions, how can you navigate life's bigger challenges without getting swept away? For a Sigma male, it's not about having the loudest voice or the strongest opinion. It's about the quiet, unwavering confidence of knowing who you are and what you believe, no matter the external pressures. If he sees you changing your beliefs like a chameleon to fit into different social groups, he'll lose interest fast. It's not about agreeing with him or challenging him. It's about standing on your own. If you're constantly looking to others for direction and approval, you'll never catch his attention for long. In the end, the Sigma male's radar is finely tuned to pick up on the subtleties that most people overlook. It's not the big gestures or grand declarations that catch his attention. It's the small, unspoken details that reveal your true character. How you carry yourself in moments of uncertainty, how you treat those who can't offer you anything in return, or how you navigate power and influence. These are the things that matter most to him. To a Sigma, authenticity is everything. If you're trying too hard to impress, if you're inconsistent in your beliefs, or if you fail to respect yourself, he sees right through it. But if you're grounded, composed, and unapologetically yourself, you'll earn his attention and respect. Ultimately, Sigma males don't invest their time in people who are still figuring out who they are. They value depth, integrity, and the quiet strength of someone who doesn't need to shout to be heard. If you want to capture his interest, stop performing and start being real, because that's the only thing that truly matters to a Sigma. And if you don't, you'll likely find him fading into the background, silently aware that you've missed the mark. If you enjoyed diving into the mind of a Sigma male and uncovering the subtle traits they notice, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss another deep dive like this. Drop a like if you found these insights intriguing, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what stands out to you the most. And hey, if you know someone who could use a little Sigma wisdom, share this video with them. Let's keep the conversation going, and as always, stay real. Bye for now, and see you in the next video.